Good evening. How are you doing, Mr. Ham?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Wednesday, 29th. Bowman Sapphire dropped this week. Did you get any of that?
No, I. That's why I reached out to you to see how much it was. I'm not paying that.
Yeah,
I'm not an idiot.
me either. Is that crazy?
Yes and no. The yes part is because of where we've come from and what we know. The no because breakers have to have product and they're going to buy it no matter what.
We're going to blame everything on breakers, aren't we?
That's what the hobby's built off of now.
So, would you
What,
buy brakes now of that product?
mm, maybe if it's like on a lower end, like somebody's a single box and they break it into just a random team at maybe $30 to get in. Yeah, maybe one or two. But like trying to go and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, no, not that big a
Who,
deal.
who are the
I
chase
just I,
players in that anyway?
I don't even know. I'd rather wait for Topps Chrome, so it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's
I,
like it's an in
I'm
between
the same
product.
way.
It's kind of like Bowman Megas. Yes, I want to rip Megas, but it's for two packs. The other packs don't have inserts in them, so
Yeah,
they're dead. So it's literally two packs. And you don't want to buy those packs loose because I've shown in the past that you can tell that a hit is in a pack. And sometimes you can tell if an autograph's in a pack if it's upside down and backwards. So based on how they do that, once it's taken out of the box, it could be anywhere, all over the place.
yep.
So a lot of times people just throw out the dead packs. That doesn't mean you still can't get a mojo of a key rookie, but you're not getting an autograph, a numbered parallel. None of that's happening.
Yep. No, I guess I'm going to watch Bowman. I thought I'd do Bowman Sapphire, but when I saw four something, I was like, no. And it's only one box too from what I can remember. It's like, thankfully, I guess I thought to myself, I would spend 400 for two boxes in my mind, but
I
that's
thought they were.
stupid. Why would I
I
even think
thought they
that?
were going to be about 300, honestly, to 325. Because
Yeah.
remember a few years back they did a sapphire. It was like 325. Didn't even guarantee an autograph.
Well,
So
last year was the Bowman Sapphire Dutch auction. It's the first and only Dutch auction that Fanatics ran so far that everybody bitched about. And I want to say it hit
I
the
don't.
floor around 350.
I don't think they're going to do a whole lot of the Dutch auction. They think they do fine better just putting a price gouge into it and just watching people have to buy it.
Do you think that? I mean, because it's funny you say that. Like, I was thinking about that with Panini going away, and they are going away,
No,
or
they're
at least
not.
their major products. Their major product control will go away.
Oh, they're. I guarantee they got
And
something up
they're
their sleeve, and they're going to do something stupid, and they're going to give a big. I don't give a fuck about Fanatics, and they're going to try something anyway. Because if not, they're dead. So why not?
I like what you're thinking. I like what you're thinking. But my point to that, before we go there, I'm just saying Panini's the only one who uses the Dutch oven auction as much as they do. I mean, they use it every week. There is an auction going on. Tomorrow is Optic and NBA. Hold on one moment.
You're good, man.
I'm gonna have to let you. You have to cover for me, man, while I have to do a
Yeah,
little pee pee break.
yeah, I got you. No, go pee pee.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm not sure who's out here. Let me go to the main comments. I don't see those yet. But with everything that's going on in the hobby, with the way that people are breaking and or having accessibility to product now, I mean, if you calculate how much somebody makes, good for them. But sometimes people are starting to get wrapped up in this. Why they price gouging me? It's because they're just kind of going off of the way the market's trending right now. So you got to take that into effect. At the end of the day, all this is a business. It used to feel a little more cuddly, and now it's not cuddly anymore. And that's just something we have to get by in our head and move along. I got a friend texting me, he's opening up actually Bowman blasters right now, doing well, and so he went back to buy more because he keeps getting good cards. He's hitting, I don't know how many of the Dylan Cruz autos and parallels out of retail. It's ridiculous. Retail this year for that Bowman product, at least the first run, seems to be very, very good for Bowman baseball. I don't know about the Sapphire because, again, with the Sapphire, we're what, two or three players really in this product that you're really chasing after, I would say. Where if you save your money, just wait for Chrome, because at the end of the day, you're either chasing the Bowman first or you're chasing the Topps Chrome rookie card and a couple others here and there to get sprinkled in. And then if you want to start stating that Dynasty is their flagship high end, you can do that. I haven't really seen the overall trend on that. I've seen trends over time, but not like a trend that kind of creates a definitive motion towards that product now being the main product for baseball. And then we don't know what Fanatics is going to do really this year with all the stuff they may drop. I'm assuming they're going to have some secret drops, maybe just online stuff that just pops in and out. And, we'll see. It'll be fun. Ziggy's coming back into the room, guys. There he is. I don't hear you
Now I
right
need
now.
time
There
to
you go.
breathe. I got to catch my breath, man. So we were talking, and you said Panini's going to do something crazy.
Yeah.
Because why not?
I think they're going to do what Pacific did back in the day. Do you want to come on?
Give me one moment.
Yeah, go for it. Ziggy's just doing some personal stuff, guys. It's, if any of us have kids, you understand that they can pop in whenever they want to. Plus, I know he's in a different time zone than I am at. My kid's in the other room with spring break going on right now. Not spring break, summer going on right now. Kids are out of school, so a lot of our times have changed with what we have going on. But it is what it is. But, again, with this new product that comes out and we're constantly chasing, like at the end of the day, if you're buying new product, you're hoping to usually hit something big to resell. You're not looking to get into product to go chase your team. Otherwise, you would realistically go into a break or just buy singles. I'm just basically talking about what we basically do with why we get into breaks or even rip product to begin with anymore.
It's funny. I think the thing is, though, aren't you being forced more and more to do breaks?
Yes.
Or is it really, can you buy singles only?
No, it's
that's the only options.
They're forcing you to do breaks. And again, that's why Fanatics created Fanatics Live. Because they're not getting that stuff at that same price that we're paying. Plus, those people that break, A, get paid, and then B, bring all their followers, and then C, get their own personal product given to them free of charge amongst the other two things they're doing for them to break themselves. So, why wouldn't you do that? And you're in with the giant.
So my thoughts are, again, I love buying into breaks, but I also think, I also know that every break you're in, there is a loser and more losers than winners, right? To me, I think it's statistics, it's math. I play it that way. But I even go back to what the dude at Burbank said. Can this market really grow where 85% of the customers are pissed off and only 15 aren't?
It doesn't matter. How does think about it? We know he's treating this as a gambling aspect. Okay. Yep. And at last I checked, there's not less gamblers than there were yesterday. It's a process that'll work. Correct. And it's like, for instance, this year's Bowman product at retail. My friend he's been sending me pictures of all the stuff he's been hitting recently, and it's all good stuff. So they found a way to load retail out to make you want to keep buying it. And, at the end of the day, we never know how many cards are really made for the most part, especially unnumbered parallels, for instance. So until the end, there's never any dust that really settles personally. It just comes down to what becomes popular 10 years later. And do you look back at that product going, this was a good product, this was a bad product? And that's just the nature of the beast. That's why I always say Bowman has anywhere from a 5 to 7 year window. And then it's, if you got a banger guy that was in that set, it's only 1 or 2, maybe ever 3 that you go back and that's a Hall of Fame type guy. Out of Mike Trout's rookie year, who else can you name in that Bowman first product that is going to be a Hall of Famer?
I don't know. Somebody will probably tell me somebody else is in there, but he's 11, right? Harper was. Yeah. Harper was before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Harper was after, actually.
It is funny like that.
Or before.
I just think, again, since I've been in sports cards, I thought in the first few years I was shocked by the churn. And this is before the boom happened. But there's a churn. There are people who come in, they're there, they burn out, and a few people stick around, a few people come back. But there's a constant churn. Like, it's the most transient business in my mind. There are a lot of people, many who do stick around.
It's not, but it's not just cards. That's any hobby that is a collector-based hobby that has now become monopolized by grading and condition and time served. Everybody circles back. Correct, and money. Everybody circles. That's why I think the video game market in 20 years is going to be super huge, because that's the first vintage, is when you're going back to 80s, basically. So that stuff's going to be the oldest stuff around. So, and then generation 2 and 3 would now be involved with wanting it.
Do you listen to that Alpha Investments dude, the Rudy guy?
Sometimes.
So he did a thing talking about, I think it was pinball machines went through a
Hmm.
whole boom during COVID, and he'll comment to me, he goes, "I didn't realize all these other industries that went through these booms."
Every
And
one
you're
of them.
absolutely right. You're right. Every one of them.
Everything collection based. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
again,
guess because again, there's the
sitting at
ability to
home,
cash out too. There's
sitting at
money. There's
home and free
liquidity in it.
money. Well, I mean, yeah, we were
Yep.
given free money too. So we had expendable free money. A lot of people were getting paid to not go to work, and then people were getting paid by the government. So, and then we got more money later. So we were at a very unique time where things would go up because more people would be willing to pay more every time for something. How y'all doing? Collective Dream, Card Vibe, in the screen list.
On the repackers, I follow Sarah Rips. Do you guys follow Sarah Rips on Instagram? She's the
I know. Yeah, I know she
female
is.
female breaker, extremely attractive, and then she went on and did her own thing. She was yesterday bitching about repacks. I thought it was absolutely the funniest thing. I was like,
Yeah, she'll be doing a repack in like a week. Don't worry about it.
and see that's kind of the nature of the beast. But if people realize here's part of the problem. They watch them and go, well, if some asshole can do that, I can do one better. And you're absolutely right. Then she'll put one out and go, mine's legit. Mine's not like this one is. But it's so funny, the whole repack industry. I mean, it is what it is.
And answer Card Vibes question here. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
I definitely know and have seen it. There's people that are also have signs on their table now buying, and they'll put 70 to 90%. So they're like, hey, come to me, like at the show. So and some of them do set up, and they only have 5 cards in a case. They're only there to buy. They are not there to sell. Even the cards in the case, not for sale. Like they're good cards, not for sale. So it's just like, okay. And then this one right here, if your seller improvements doesn't improve, then yeah, they can restrict you from selling on eBay, and you also won't get the same amount of uh, discounts as a seller too. Because if you're a premier seller with a high rating, you get to pay less in shipping, less in fees. Like that's real. All right, but you have to put the volume in. You have to have good feedback. You have to, you have to be top of the line. They want good people, and they're willing to keep those good people by giving them discounts because they're making money hand over fist. Now, recently, quick story, I sold a pair of sneakers for a friend of mine online, and they never wore them outside. They tried them on. They were going on a trip. They never even went to the trip. They didn't like them. They're like, I don't need these. I only bought these to go on this trip. So they were in brand new condition, still in the box and everything. Person buys it. I ship it to them. I have a return policy for 30 days. At 29 days, I get, hey, I want to send these back to you. I'm like, well, okay, I guess. So why 29 days? They don't fit right. Okay, could have found that out within the first like 2 days of having it and done this. So then I have to wait another 15 days to get them in. And then the front of the sneakers are all like marked up. The bottoms are all dirty. And I'm like, hey, eBay, they sent me this back. I would like at least a partial refund. We didn't see anything wrong with this. We refunded the seller the whole money. Say what? I was like, I have my early pictures and the after pictures, and you're saying this is cool. So then after that, I had to report the buyer, because at this point I have to assume they're scamming people. They don't have a lot of feedback, and it's just like I can't leave negative feedback because eBay don't allow you to do that anymore. They live in a peaceful world where nobody does wrong. So again, eBay has its problems. Again, I can boycott the place, but let's face it, there's nothing better than eBay still. So you just sometimes got to take your lumps and move on. That's what I'm gonna do. I can't hear you. Volume control
Sorry
to
about that.
English. There it is.
Yeah. When I sneezed, I covered I turned my. I would say I feel for you because right now I'm in a ton of. I'd say I have a ton of cards that I need to move, and I've been using DC-87 to do the consignment. I should be doing it on my own. I really should,
You'll
but
make more money.
I know, but I hate what you talk about, and that is dealing with all the eBay bullshit. Cards need to go through eBay authentication. Going to have returns. I just. I wonder. I mean, to me, I guess it does. It costs the value there is there. But I just, like you said, you scared the hell out of me talking about that. I don't want to deal with that.
I mean, it even makes me question it. But I've been an eBay seller since 2000. I used to have a very big store in the early 2000s. I was doing $30,000-$40,000 a year in profit on that. And that was just yard sale stuff. And
Wow.
it's just if I ever like lost my job, I could go straight back to that and make just as much money as I do now by just doing that. But that's not what I want to do. It's just one of those things that, it's the necessary evil. But man, it's just so hard now as a seller with somebody that can complain about anything, and you can do no returns and it still gets returned to you. So, and if it's through a credit card, you can now create a credit card claim. So the buyer has 100% protection in extremely rare situations that the eBay ever basically lands on the side of the seller. Very rare. I've had it happen, but it's very, very, it's probably 1 out of 100, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Most of mine, I sell some Funko Pops on my eBay now. I have a store account, and I've actually thought about canceling it because, again, I don't use it enough. I don't have enough listings to need the store account.
I always
like the data
stuff listed on eBay with buy it nows, no best offer, just to keep because it'll just reset after 27 days. It'll just constantly throw it up there. So it looks like I'm active. That's a way that you can kind of beat the algorithm a little bit, and where your account doesn't start to go dormant as a seller. Is just keep stuff on there that if somebody buys it, good. If not, I'm not changing my price.
Do you use Mascot at all with yours?
No.
That's fine. I bring that up because I logged into Mascot for the first time, and they're charging now for me to use Mascot.
Well, everybody, again,
or they want to charge you
at this point. They want to, I mean, why not? People are going to pay for it.
I wasn't ready for that because so my point to that is that I like Mascot because I just put the PSA code in, and it populates all the listing for me, and then I can list it at a buy it now really high. I'm one of those guys that does. I list it really high, buy it now, and then I'll go sell a card to people in person. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do that. I can list it and maybe get an offer. So here's a card listed. Here's a picture.
There's people that also list cards that are rare on that they have. There's not a lot of them, and they'll put it at a high price on eBay. So when someone goes to try and check a comp, and there isn't one, but there's only an active one for $200 over what you're asking at the show for the same card. I've watched that happen too. Like I know people that have done that. So there's a backwards eBay scam that you can do. But I'm the sunscreen. Yeah, you basically that's what eBay's saying you get to do. So it is what it is, I guess. Let's see. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. Yeah, Orlando no returns. Flipping Steve's down here. He must have got out of the pool after drinking his Moscow Mule. He must be good to go here. Yes, just pulled a PA slab out of the pool after soaking for 12 hours. Yeah, Steve's testing out one of the new PSA slabs and 6 feet of water in his pool.
I haven't gotten those, but I heard about them. I'm looking forward to getting one and cracking it.
Yeah, I have a PSA submission that hopefully in the next week or two I'll get back. I know because I sub through Tampa Card Shop. Brian's always very itchy to tell me my subs, and I'm like, I don't want to see or hear anything until they're in my hand. So I'll basically start a video and I'll go through them as I see them, as you see them, to see how stuff turns out.
I've got 2 coming back. I've got a 50 card coming back probably next week, and then another 22, and I'm going to try to get some out this week. I know that 50 cards going to. That's what I'm saying. Right now, I am full of cards. Way too many cards.
Well, it's not even that. That's expensive.
Woo. I know it's $1,000 in grading fees, man.
Yeah, and that's if you don't get upcharged for something on accident.
I say right here, like just these are PSA 10 of just base Prism Monopoly Wembies.
What are those running right now?
These. I will say 50, but it might be under that by now.
Well, couldn't you bulk sell them to a repacker?
Those are low end hits. I don't attract repackers. But what I am doing, I do sell them on Facebook groups. I'm in a lot of good Facebook groups where I can move stuff. And I see some amazing deals go as well.
If you have good Facebook groups, good Instagram, good TikTok and all that crap, if you're in good groups and you know a lot of the people and it's the same people over and over again, it's like specific breakers that are smaller that you stick with, or find here and there, that community is good because it's the same people. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're all easily track downable.
I'm in one. I don't use their name because it's a vouch group. I love this group. It is one of the groups that posted that with a repacker or the alleged repacker posted he's looking to hire people.
Yeah.
They post some sick cards in that group and some big numbers. And I see those deals close too. At least where a guy will say, 25,000. I'll see a guy go, so DM sold, and then you assume the deal closes. I don't see the receipts like Rare and Rebel did, but I do see a lot of Facebook transactions closing that are crazy in Facebook groups.
I would love to see how a high-end repack would go. When I say high-end, it's $5K just to enter the room.
Well, I don't. Again, I'll be honest. I'll be really honest. I think people have that much money to spend are not dumb enough to spend it on a repack.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I have $5,000 to spend on open and wax, first of all, I hate repacks, but why would I waste it on a repack? Like, I would.
Because
There's so much
the
more.
repack you saw has a card you want, and you'd like to have that, even if it's for a PC or a long term, mid to long term. That's
Again,
why
I can't. I
they're
can't understand
they're
that.
buying key cards for a lot of people and or exciting. Okay, that's what the 90% to sometimes
What they should
100%
do.
comps go.
What you should do then is you should put a bounty on that card. Right? If you see a card in a repack that you really want, place a bounty on the card, and then let the idiots open those repacks for you and buy the card as a single.
Yeah, I'd love it if Mr. Beast just started doing bounties on cards for fun.
Is he in the sports cards now? God help
No,
us.
but it would be, but I would love to see a bounty on just a serial numbered card having to be like jersey number of that subset. So let's say it's a 99, but I need the serial number 53 for this player. Is going to be the winner. So it can't just be any card.
You know,
Yeah,
it's interesting. I was watching.
I do know a little bit about everything. I do have that about me. I always say I have a PhD in YouTube.
See, you know, it's interesting. Have you noticed, and I don't mean to be mean, but since SGC's acquisition, it's been really quiet from the SGC fanboys. Like, it's really, everybody's really, honestly, dude, people have come out and just said, it's really is PSA. You really have one choice. I hate to tell you this, but there's really one choice. Like, agreed. I heard Cage Lawyer today say that. I only say that because for years, SGC's been paying so many influencers to speak their speak that you were listening to SGC.
It's called advertising. Okay, remember that. It's called advertising. This is a business.
No, it's actually called influencing, because advertisement, they'd be smart enough to say this is an advertisement.
If I watch somebody drink a beer on TV or eat a Dorito and goes, that's influencing, it's also advertising.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with you, but you're right. But I'll give you a perfect example of the two. But go on, finish your point first.
But I'm just saying that's just how that works. Okay, it's just that's what it is. Everybody gets to choose which bed they lie in. That's it's the end of the day.
Well, here's my example.
Pac-Man buys all those boxes that he's getting from Panini?
No.
But he's also got a fake over 100 subscription. Okay. Yeah. No. But everybody believes it.
Let me go back to the examples though, of the difference, right? I remember watching, Retro Hoops, Cage Lawyer, both coming out, big SGC fans. SGC. I love SGC. They also, by the way, were Arena fans. Arena Club's great. Yeah. I've heard them both recently say, look, I use PSA. PSA is the best thing. There's really no choice. PSA is the best thing, which is just real honest. And I appreciate them saying that. Yeah. I'll give you another example. The dude who runs the Sports Card Strategy Show, I forget his name. He is sponsored by CSG. Okay. He will say, and we want to thank our sponsor, CSG. We recommend CSG for your PC. But I do want to be honest with you. For flipping, I always use PSA. He's brutally honest about it.
And as long as you have somebody that allows you to do it.
Advertising versus influencing, which is, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I'm going to talk about it because someone paid me to talk about it.
But a lot of influencers do also use whatever they're backing.
Not many of them, though. Right? Doesn't that? Let's be honest. There are many. There are many who don't.
I honestly don't know that many that are actually sponsored by people. I really don't.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go I don't want to get angry on the show because I really enjoy it.
No, we're not getting angry.
Dustin,
there's no anger at evening. Whoa, you said the D word. You can't say the D word.
Well, I'm saying Dustin and Mike, Junkawax Hero, who are both very good channels, put out great content, both sponsored vintage breaks.
I love vintage
Neither
breaks.
one of them is in a break. They don't do breaks. They don't do vintage. So
but
that's
I would
an example
sponsor vintage breaks if they wanted to sponsor through.
I don't like vintage breaks. We want to go ahead and pick a scab.
No. Okay, so
the guy swapped the pack off. The guy swapped the pack off on the camera.
That was a damaged pack. They always have packs on the side for So they always have packs off the side for some of the older stuff because they get it. The box can be dinged or whatever. When they pull a pack out and they notice that it's damaged, they will replace it. They always have extra packs on the side. Okay, that way they can pull that pack over so you're not getting damaged cards.
So let me say something. I kind of went with that when that came out. I did, Mike.
But I've seen them do it prior to that ever happening.
But here's another example. Did you watch Geoff's video on the guy with the vintage packs, the PSA vintage packs?
Yes.
Did you notice that how many of them you can see through the wax?
Oh,
I never
100%.
knew that. I never knew
Oh,
that.
you can see through a hanger right now.
I
Go to get
know
a
that.
prism. Go get a
I
prism
know
hanger.
that.
If the
So
Wimby's on the back, you get a Wimby.
to me, my point is, I think it's more likely that vintage brakes guy sits there, sees the packs that he knows are valuable, tells you they're bang, takes them off pack, and moves the Jordan pack
So
off
for
or the other pack. That's what I think he
vintage, the
does.
only way you so vintage is okay. So yes, you can see through the pack on vintage, but you can't see through the pack like you just glanced at it. It's not like that.
I,
You have to
I,
press the wax down to see it.
I think he does that. He does. I think it's enough time where he's looking at the camera. That's the doubt I have in my mind after watching him
No,
and seeing
I
what I know in
completely
that
understand
space.
that, and I've watched the
Right.
same video
And
you
that's
have.
something I'll say this too. He should disclose that, knowing that he should take a fucking picture of the back and show you. Here's the one we're taking off camera. There's things he could do, but they don't. They laughed about it. They blew it off. And I'll just say this: I don't like that. I think that's
I
scammy.
got you. Well, this is
Then
what
the
I
guy
would do.
selling vintage brakes guy is selling Prism Monopoly boxes for $100 when they still were available. It wasn't like now; they still were available, and then telling people how great of a hit it is. I'm like, you don't even know the product, man. You don't know the
No, and
product.
I
You're just out there
understand.
grifting anybody.
Again, I agree with
Anyway,
that, but I also know that other people on that sell on Target and Walmart have overpriced blasters as well at the same price.
yeah.
Okay, and if
I
you go
know.
look at the comments, it talks about how great it is and the best card you could pull. They're trying to sell
I
stuff.
know.
I get it. And if I'm going to vintage brakes, I'm not buying modern. So it's just not what I'm going to do. If I'm watching JRI brakes, I'm not
I
there for
agree.
modern. I'm there for older stuff.
I know.
Yes,
Again,
they have newer stuff and it's overpriced. I agree. I don't even know why
what
people pay it, but they do.
what I've accepted is this is a predatory market space, and if you don't know what the hell you're doing, people will
Yes.
feed on you like vampires. It is
Everybody in this
not.
hobby does
It
that
is
though.
the hobby is The Walking Dead more than it is freaking All in the
if
Family or
if somebody
everybody gets
if
along type
somebody
of deal.
but here if somebody walks up to you and you know more about a card than somebody else and they're giving you a good deal about it because they don't know maybe how good of a card they have, do you tell them how good of a card they have or do you want to
I
get the
do.
deal?
I do.
So if you went to a
I'm
yard
the
sale and somebody had a box of Flawless on the thing and they're like, oh, my son left it, whatever, I just want $5 for it, you're not going to hand them $5 and run back to your car. That's what they're
I
asking
wouldn't, but
for it.
and I'll
I
say this,
would.
Mike. I'm going to claim I'm special. The reason though is different
Whoa,
for me.
whoa, whoa, we need to clip that.
You can. I know everybody's saying, "Oh, bullshit, Mike, you take it." But here's the deal: the reason I wouldn't, and I'll say this too, I'll be brutally honest. I'm in sales in my professional life.
Yeah.
I love sales.
But aren't you
I
supposed
really
to
do.
scam
So
people in sales?
it's not that you're scamming people, but I understand that. And the thing that I don't like in sales is taking advantage of uneducated, unaware people. So I just have this appreciation for sales, and I sell not to people. I'm not selling cars. I sell to businesses.
Okay.
I sell strategically. So to me, first of all, I don't need the money. It's not my livelihood. It's not my job. And I will say this too: if my job and my livelihood was on cards, you're absolutely right. I'd probably think differently. Like if I made a living off of cards and I found a great deal and the guy gave $5, I'd probably give him 10 and go, hey man, here's 10, keep the change. Yeah. And I could ethically understand that. But to me, who I am today and where I am because of my financial situation, no, I'd feel greater telling the person, dude, you have a really great buy here. Let me show you what this is. Let me explain it to you. And I do believe there's a lot of people like me. That's why the hobby's unique, because there are a lot of good people who do stop you and show you the wonder of the hobby or tell you the story. Like, I guarantee you, there's no way fucking Orlando would take advantage of a kid who came in with a box of Flawless for $5.
You don't. Well, I'm not saying a kid. I said a grown ass person.
Anybody, even a grown man. Orlando would not do that.
No, deal's a deal, baby. And if it's at a yard sale, it's free game.
But
you don't go to a trash can and go, oh, you threw this microwave out. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll give you $10 for it. No,
but I understand your point. I understand. And this is what makes the hobby unique, right? Because you have these cases where the wife sells the Pokemon cards that are worth thousands of dollars, and you're like, what?
I go to yard sales. I say, hey, you have any Pokemon cards that your kids used to have? And if they bring it out, how much you want? They go $45. I don't go looking through it if there's a Charizard. I go, that's a good deal. I'm going to go take my chance. Because at the end of the day, I could lose my ass still.
Very fair.
It's part of the game, if you want to put it that way.
It is. It's what makes this fucking hobby fun. I understand.
All the hobbies. Not just one, all of them.
I guess you're right. I guess I don't do other things as like a hobby like this.
I've done coins. I've done toys, video games, comic books. Did Funkos for a little while.
What makes this the best? Or why do you like this one? Which one? Where does this rank then in your hobbies? Is this the best?
It's the best, but it's because of imagery. I've always liked sports photography. And part of the reason I used to collect was how cool some of the photos were. And I'm always about eye appeal. And that's why I bitch about always wanting better inserts, cooler cards and stuff like that. And we're just stuck in this stupid, foil rut right now of just random shiny stuff. Like what Upper Deck did with the Outburst parallels is fantastic. There's a guy on Instagram called Blender of Zombie who creates cards and was creating this pattern by cutting out other hollow foil cards and creating that pattern. And then Upper Deck just came out with it on a card. So I was just like, oh, this undercut this guy real quick, didn't they? But
yeah, there are some cool stuff. It's funny, Upper Deck does some really cool stuff. They have a new hockey product coming out.
Which one?
Something. Oh,
They
God.
just dropped like 8 of them because of Connor Bedard.
I listened to The Chase, which is a good show. I don't know if you follow that. It's Dave and Adams. They do a daily show.
Yeah,
and
I don't.
The day they talked about it, they also had on there. They had Paul Lesko on there today too, which again, worth listening to the episode of The Chase this morning. But the box they're coming out with is something they made back in the 80s and 90s, or the 90s, I guess, 80s and 90s. The 90s in football, and they made it in basketball. But they never made it in hockey. And it's all these cool inserts. Essential Credentials was one of them. So it's going to be a hockey box. And you're right.
That would be Fleet or Ultra, but I know they had Ultra Hockey at one point.
It's again, check out. I'll look at I'll rewind it later on and send you. But it was pretty damn cool. I will say I am interested in doing some more hockey because I did like the kind of Bedard chase. I do like hockey cards. I will say I got slaughtered grading them. No, I know, and that's amazing.
I sent one in on this grade that was to me borderline. It was either a high 8 or a low 9. So I'm curious to how it comes back. If it gets a 10, then PSA is off their rocker because no way in hell I'd give it a 10. So there's just no way.
What are you doing with the other ones? Are you going to sell them raw?
Yeah, I'm going to sell them raw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those things are hard as hell to grade. I won't lie.
Either I'll sell them raw or I'll trade them into some other cards that I'd be more interested in moving around or playing with. We're in a really interesting part of the hobby right now where new people are the new collecting type of people because we're losing our key heroes for the last 15 or 20 years in every sport. So all the new guys are finally stepping up, and we're trying to all figure out who the face is going to be. And we like to play, juggling faces, especially basketball. Now is Ant-Man. Is it still going to end up being Luka? Is Shea going to do it? Nobody gives a crap about Joker. Nobody cares about Embiid. They're just not collectible people. So it's just like one of those things, like, are they great? Yes, but just being great doesn't make you valuable anymore. And that's the new thing that we're really adopting now. And I started a long time ago with Michael Jordan. So it just falls right into that pattern all over again.
I'm excited. Have you heard anything about any of the Topps products coming out from any of the breakers or stores?
I've asked a few people that have a little. I've had people that I know that would know something that they'd tell me. I wouldn't be able to say anything specific, but I could beat around the bush. I haven't had not an inkling of it. So I feel like they're printing it in a bat cave or some shit.
What's funny, that's part of the reason I also didn't do Sapphire. I don't have the cash right now. Like I said, I got sold a bunch of slabs, and I want to have whatever cash I do just in case they do a Bowman football or basketball dropper. I guess basketball's coming out first, right? Or am I wrong?
Basketball's first, Topps Chrome's first, and then just after that should be the football mixer, where it's multiple different sets. So it's a Chronicles, but of Topps football, which we haven't had any. So it's going to be a giant shit show. I think both these products immediately, once they're released, are going to double in price immediately. Okay, for wax.
It's terrible. I absolutely disagree. For the record, I think they're going to drop like a rock. I'm just going to preach this. You got to believe this so that
Topps Chrome basketball, I have $1,000 set aside to buy however many I can get. How does that feel for you?
I understand. It's going to drop like a rock. Do not rush out. Do not FOMO.
Ziggy's going to be trying to buy a case, guys, in about a month once he sees what's in it.
Oh, I asked somebody this. Maybe I asked you this. I think I asked you this. Would you rather have a Wemby auto off Bowman, NBA, whatever it's called, or not Bowman, the Topps Chrome Wemby auto, or a Wemby Prism Monopoly short print? The
Topps Chrome.
Okay, you would rather have the auto. Okay.
Yeah. An on-card auto, and it's not even going to be a sticker. On-card auto, Chrome, good-looking card.
What are you going to do if they are on sticker? What if they are sticker autos?
They won't. They've already shown one. It's not stickered. They're not. Yeah, but
come on. They come on. They could easily drop some sticker ones too.
They could, but how many? They're trying to blow the market up.
How many do you
The
think there'll
dumbest
be?
thing that I don't care.
How many autographs do you think he signed for that
For
for
Chrome.
that one product? Yes,
So we're gonna have
a
a base,
thousand,
and then
ten thousand,
more than 1,000, because you're
more
gonna
than
have
that, under
parallels from
under 5,000,
999 to one, and that's if they only
under
have
five
one of
thousand.
one. So,
And
and then the
somebody out
base
there
version,
has to know how
unless they
many
short
autos
print the
are out
Wimby,
there.
which they could do that.
Daddy, I want ding dong.
How many autos are out there right now? Hold on one second while I
I have no
answer a
idea.
quick question.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I don't know how many autos are out there. I don't know. It would be nice if a player, I don't know if they're under contract, they can't say how many, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Orlando, it has to be on card for sure. Debate show to get him North Bucks out.
Because I'm wondering, I mean, how much do you think they like? We should be able to track this. I'm sure Becca keeps track of this, right? How many drops have they done? Right, the instant cards. No one's tracking that.
I highly doubt it.
Well, I thought somebody tracked autos or something like that. But anyway, I'm sure somebody in chat will know. We should be able
I'm
to know
sure
how
somebody
many
knows.
autos does he have on the market. And it'll be the first time you feel track somebody like this. How many rookie autos did he have in that year? Right? Because these other times, you're right, there's tons of non-numbered, but I don't think Victor's going to be doing a bunch of sticker autos.
Well, like for instance, I really like the way the select card court sort side, whatever the lowest or highest best card is. I don't know if you've seen a black one of one. They have a die cut of that with that logo, that design. That thing looks fantastic. Like that's a nice looking card. It sticks out. It's not like a normal black one of one because it's die cut, and it's cool. Like you look at it and you glance, you're like, wow, whoa, what's that? Like it makes.
And they're going for a lot of money too, and they're
all
selling.
One of one should. They're selling. They did something good. Again, Panini has tricks up their sleeve, but since we've allowed them to just docilate and just let the bloodline go beep, the heartbeat, do that, and they can just keep making the money. They haven't had to try. Now they have to try. Now they have to pull out stops.
I think they've also tricked us because there's so many of these goddamn gold cards and one-on-one cards and green cards. Like every time I'm looking on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I'm seeing these big sales go of this shit. I'm like,
you gave me an idea for a baseball card called a green card where you just use like.
Well, I'm talking the green to 5. I've seen the green to 5s, man.
I want the Otani green card.
The Victor Wembanyama green card.
Oh shit, that'd be great.
Oh, but there's just so many of them popping, and I don't know. I just can't imagine how. So let me ask you another quick question. I just another quick train of thought.
Yeah.
CSA show in Chantilly, Virginia. They're going to have Penix. They're going to have Bo Nix, and they have Levis signing autographs.
Mm-hmm. I saw
Would you get autographs? Would you get autographs of there?
How much does it cost?
So interesting. Levis is a Fanatics exclusive, and he only will do 2 cards per person, and I think it's $175 per autograph for Will Levis.
What's the cheapest auto you can buy him online?
I don't know. There's not a lot out there, dude. He's not very popular.
No,
again, there's not a lot out there.
Yeah, I know, because I saw one of those guys. It might have been Will Levis. I'm not sure.
If you find them, you're going to find them in the that are unlicensed. Remember, because he did do a lot of college.
I understand, but what's he signing for you that's licensed?
You would take anything you want. A card to him.
You know how it is. The aftermarket auto just never has the same appeal.
What would you take? So my thoughts are either take an immaculate card, an immaculate patch card, because those are out.
I would honestly take a custom card.
Or Panini. Oh, I'll say this: it has to be licensed. That's another requirement too. It has to be a licensed card.
Okay,
it cannot be a custom card.
I can type Bowman or Tops on it. The guy's not going to know. I'll just tell him.
Let me take it back. For Fanatics signatures, they were very strict. I assume there's somebody enforcing what they'll let you sign for Fanatics.
Kind of like Tom Brady
came up with the wrong card. They might say no. I just don't know. So my point is, I would go there with an immaculate Panini patch card, or I would go with a Prism card, and I'd use a colorful,
probably a Prism.
And
I would like for him. I'd try and probably do a red, white, and blue Prism or a color match numbered Prism card and have him sign it.
So for Penix and Bo Nix, they are not Fanatics exclusive as of yet. Mm-hmm. So they don't have the same limits. Their autographs, I think, are around 130 per.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about getting a couple of theirs. Now, again, as far as licensed cards, there's not a lot of licensed cards out of their stuff. Like even the Panini Instant haven't shipped yet, so they're not out yet. They do on draft night.
I don't know. It's just at 175. Like when Herbert first did his very first sighting, I think it was $120 for whatever you
Yep.
wanted to have them signed. So I had 2 of those signed, to his Prism and rated rookie purple shot card I sent in
Nice.
to have signed, because I just figured if he does, it turns out to be good, I already just have one. I'm fine with it, and I paid a fraction of what they would go for anyway. Because even, I mean, his silver Prism autos are still like $1,000. So I have one. It's just not pack full. So I feel fine about that, though.
Well, I got to think more people are doing this too, because of the exclusive licensing and what's going on. But I'm definitely gonna do a few. I will say Lawrence is going to be there as well. His autographs are going to be
Should
they're
be like
$275.
Yeah, why?
$275.
He doesn't warrant that right now.
I'm telling you, that's what he's charging.
And he signed so much already. No, I wouldn't even touch him.
I don't disagree with you. Like if I'm definitely going to do Levis, because I actually think he's going to be pretty good this year. Not great, but I think he'll be good. I'm thinking about Bo Nix and/or Penix. Penix would be a longer play because he's not going to play for a while. And Bo Nix, we'll see.
Whoa. Kirk Cousins is the scarecrow. He's falling apart. So, he's 10 man with no rust or no oil. He's just rusting away. I think Penix starts faster than y'all think, for sure. And I honestly almost think that the Falcons were like, listen, we gotta have an understanding this guy's been hurt a lot recently. We're taking a chance on paying him a lot of money and hopefully not getting hurt. But if he doesn't, will we have the opportunity to take possibly our future starting quarterback in the next 3 years in the draft? And if you're doing well, no, you won't. So you take your guy now and you move along with your life. And that's what they did. I don't hate what they did. Everybody else, big shock. It didn't shock me at all. I didn't go, what an idiot. I said, good for you.
I'm one of those hobbyists who loves six quarterbacks drafted in the first round.
Well, that's going to make all this new product very exciting, isn't it?
It is, because then everybody's like, "Oh, the breakers are really happy." I'm a hobbyist.
Yeah, they
I'm
are
excited because to me, that's 6 teams I can chase, man. Okay,
yeah, well, and when you can get into a random and you feel good that you could hit 6 or even 7 or 8 teams, because realistically, you have other teams too that you can hit in there. So if this year's, let's say 10, let's say there's 10 decent teams this year, to actually get in on a breakout of 32 teams, you have a basically 1/3 chance of hitting somebody at random by accident.
Yeah,
that's exciting, honestly, because we have a lot of baseball product. If you don't have one of the top 3 teams, you're sitting in the same boat as the other 20-something people. So
I agree. That's why I'm very No, I agree. I always run like this analysis on this. I would rather do PYT. I'm more of a PYT person than random, but I'll take a shot at random when you have good odds like that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm looking forward to that product coming out.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to chasing autographs at the CSA show. I'm looking forward to getting shit graded. I'm looking forward to National. I'm looking forward to Fanatics Fest, which I think is interesting. That's not being talked about more. I wonder
they haven't
what they're doing
released
as far as
anything
registration.
Yet. Well, and they're not really advertising anymore at this point. They haven't said anything new.
Yeah, but
like,
still,
are they going to wait a week before it comes out to start promoting the show that they're trying to make sure they sell out? I would.
Well, again, they spent a lot of money to be there. I mean, they want 100,000 people there.
There's a Comic-Con in Orlando. They've been advertising for 2 months now about who's showing up. You know what's going to be there and how it's going to go. So, I don't know why you would make this a big secret when you want it to be out there and everybody to be talking about it.
Those Comic-Con events, though, have a big following, and a following, I'd say, too, across, both genders. You have a lot of women and men go to those events.
Well, that and our Comic-Con here in Tampa.
Definitely take a lesson from that.
Yeah, our Tampa Comic-Con has improved so much over the last 3 years. It's ridiculous. You used to get 1 or 2 guys you may have heard of. Now you're getting straight up movie stars, coming here to sign. So it's kind of crazy.
I agree with this. Modern football is a collector's graveyard. I think modern football is due for a big correction.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Happens.
Yeah, it's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. It won't happen soon, but I think it's 2027 is my prediction. Get out by 2027.
Vintage coach.
What do you think about the reports that Caleb
still don't know you still don't know what you have? I've already said Caleb's not going to be the guy. He's going to be a bust. I'm not going out and buying a single one of his cards. I'm not trading for one of his cards. I don't want. If it ends up in my lap, it's going to leave me ASAP. That's not the guy. You can't walk in with that attitude.
I will say I don't try to make breakers rich because I typically buy from breakers who are on Facebook.
Yeah.
And
Again, they're key
their
if you
prices are
find
so
the
much
right.
better. Like,
Yeah. If you find the right breakers, I've had breakers that tell me literally, hey, this is the break, blah, blah, blah. He'll break down how much money he makes. This is shipping. This is this.
yeah,
This is what I make. I have people that I get into breaks, they tip the breaker. Okay. Because they like that person.
yeah.
They're advertising to a channel, let's say, or subscription, and they're choosing to do that. So there's not a ton of them out there, but if you find the right guys, you stick with them. That's just what you do. Or you find the guy that, hey, we get in the breaks, you always get hits.
Did I tag you on the one guy's break? Did you get in that break that I told you about?
I don't know if you
He's
tagged
an
me.
individual, runs his own website. Okay. Anyway, I just say he did a 60 box Optic break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I don't want to misquote this, but I want to say the Texans were like $300.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
crazy.
way too cheap.
That's way too cheap.
I mean, it filled so fast.
Yeah,
It was really cheap. Maybe it was 30 boxes for $300. It was really cheap.
30
I love stuff
boxes
like that.
for
I really
300
do.
would be more realistic. Because think about
Yeah,
it, at
maybe that's what
$10
it
a
was.
spot, and
That's
it's a
what I said. I don't want to
$35
split it.
blaster. Yeah.
But I'll also say the guy I was buying, I think I told you this before, the guy who was doing the Monopoly breaks, he finally pulled the Victor Wembanyama to 24 out of a break, and the break was only $210 to get into.
So
That's a
how do
very
you
fair
feel about
price.
this?
That's right. Again, I don't make.
How do you feel about this latest wave of Panini Monopoly hitting the shelves? Because they just
I'm
did a
not
whole
shocked about
national
it. I knew they have
did
a lot
whole
out
national
there.
restick. Yeah. Well, there's no hobby product, so
Yeah,
it's retail only.
Yeah, I'm not shocked about it, and I'm not upset.
But I mean, they're sitting
It
there.
doesn't
People
bother
aren't
me.
buying them, but people aren't buying them as much anymore.
Which
Like
is
my
great
store,
for me. I don't. It
both,
doesn't, like I
both,
said, it doesn't
both
bother
of my
me.
stores have had them now for a week, and they're still there. Like it's just one or two boxes here and there.
I'm waiting for the discount. I'm waiting for the buy one get one free. I mean, because honestly, I still think it's like, I'll be honest. Here's what I'm trying to do. I might try to buy a case of the exclusive Monopoly with the Panini Direct. That price has even come down too. This is all great for me. I like the fact it's sitting on the shelf. That's fine. I still see value in the product. I still think you can make money off it. It's got some great low hits in it and a very, very good checklist. So I'm cool with it.
Okay.
But I am, like I said, my main focus right now is going to be NBA Chrome and Topps Chrome. I'm definitely hate to say it, man. I'm going to be spending a lot more money on Topps in the next few months.
Yep. Topps Chrome baseball. I'll be chasing some stuff. Obviously the Topps Chrome basketball. I'm going to get into that one way or another. And then whenever that mixer football product drops, those are my three main things. Like I've been stopping myself from getting into breaks in the last week. Just like, no, I'm going to wait. No, I'm going to wait. No, I'm going to wait. So yeah, I'm going to wait. Plus, I'm going to spend money at the
I've been very good about holding my budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been on a budget. I've been holding back. I've been, selling cards. There have been a lot of breaks I passed on doing, a lot of chases I didn't get involved in. So, and like I said, there's so much coming up with the national card shows, Fanatics Fest.
I'm just trying to figure out what are there more serial number cards that they were holding back, or were they just holding pallets back of the Monopoly? I don't know.
Well, here's, that's a great question. Here's what I believe. I was going to make a video on this. Everybody talks about how they can't track or they don't track these products or there's not loaded boxes. I might agree with that, but I have to believe that a product manufacturer knows when you make cookies, certain cookies have more chocolate chips in them, right? Based on when the cookies and the dough is mixed. So just like that, certain products are going to have more hits in them, and they know that. Like the front end of a product, they go, oh, well, based on that, there's only 1/3 of the hits are in that one. And they can see, oh, there's a heavier mix in the second. They know there's some quality differences. That's why I don't think they don't track loaded boxes, but I think they do a preferential treatment. Where, for example, in NT, where it's an easier case to chase, and you have 101s, you can make sure the 101s go to the distributor that you like more than the other one you don't like. So you might not know where they are, but you know what region they're going to, right? And then he's doing the same thing down the line. That's what I think is more likely happening in the inventory tracking.
I think that's why Panini lost that's why Panini has lost those servers, like you were talking about again today. Those servers, nobody's talking about that anymore. It just poof into the wind.
No one cares.
Nobody cares. Not even Panini doesn't care. They don't care because they still have them, but they stole their own servers. So it just doesn't even matter.
And also, everybody's pissed about Panini's Kaboom card being misprint. We forgot it's Fanatics who owns the printing. And isn't that Fanatics who's fucking the Kaboom cards up? Right?
I mean,
it's not Panini.
Yes, maybe.
Anyway, it's gonna be an interesting world here in a few years. Let me see. What else can I what other hot topics are going on right now? It's all the bad crime in the hobby. We don't need to talk about that.
There's crime in everything.
Yep.
I mean, I've already heard your take on the basketball card, the Michael Jordan, which I have. Honestly, I don't really care because an XRC has always trumped a rookie card. So I don't mind it being an XRC. What Mr. Beckett said today in his little podcast that he did made a lot of sense. That if you turn the XRC into a rookie, the 86 Fleer card is just another card. Okay. And then you're not going to do that to the hobby. So it doesn't matter. It's set in stone. The XRC should be more valuable than the rookie. I completely agree with that. It falls within the parameters of being a real card. So fine. I'm fine with that. I don't like sometimes the thought of the process of, and I understand why Mr. Beckett had to do it, but he had to make decisions that we use in the hobby today that we take as gospel when he had to create them because of the guide and the best principles of the hobby at the time. And he was also doing it with pressure on him from other directions, and possibly his own collection, even though I think Mr. Beckett's a pretty fair guy. At some point, your own personal deviation has to fall into that practice. It can't, because you have to not be involved in it in order to make that decision. And he was completely involved with it. He made the term XRC. It doesn't exist without him. But he knew he had to put a label on it because it wasn't pack pulled. But now if you start going back to cards even further back in time, where you didn't buy a pack of cards, you bought a pack of cigarettes, not available to children. Okay. And it's one card. So it's not like really a pack of cards. You could open, back then it wasn't foil wrapped. You could open it, look at the card, slide it back in, and then say, no, I want another one. Like, that's how it was. Nobody didn't hand it to you from over the counter. So again, and then there's just other stipulations in the hobby that cross over because it's old. It breaks a rule and it's okay, because back then it wasn't the same. Well, you just change stuff to accompany what the hobby was at that time. So it's not a real rule. It's like we do in basketball, where you can now travel while you dribble, because palming the ball and moving 3 feet is now a dribble. It's not. We just allow them to do it.
I was going to say, I agree with what you're saying. And if anybody has not listened, go listen to Dr. James Beckett's.
And they should go correct. Yeah.
And he has a conversation with Rovell. It's so educational. He talks about, again, the pressure he got for advertisers. Like Fleer threatened to not advertise with him if they didn't get more or something. It's just the stories he tells. He talks about how his Golden was pressuring him to get his card in there. Ken Golden had a card back then. Yeah. There's some amazing stories in this thing. And you're right. It's just a really good takeaway. I'll say this too. I'm not going to argue about whether it's a rookie card or not. I don't really care either. What I will say is the fact that Darren Rovell is listening to Jesse Craig and Jesse Craig only really concerns me.
I agree.
I'll just say that. Well, if Rob, the sports card therapist, if Rob, the sports card therapist, came out with a comp on Eli Manning, would people trust him? No, they'd question it. But Rovell is it really? He thinks he's an easy target. He'll listen to anybody. People go to him. He's being, I don't know if he's being used or he's just being naive, but that really concerns me. Like,
he might say,
can we get a second pair of eyes?
And again, he has to learn. He has to learn.
Card Ladder even said themselves they didn't verify it. They didn't think it felt good, but because Rovell did, they're going to put it in there with a stipulation in their database. I really wish, and that's not even Card Ladder. That's collectors. Collectors could have stood up to that and said, no, we're not going to put that in our database.
They may in the future, so don't worry about that. The thing is I understand too, if there is that sale and it does go on, and the people, let's say, don't want to have to worry about tax implications. They don't want you to know who they are. They don't want a paper trail.
Well, let me ask you that. Why would you do a private sale and not let either think about this?
I'm telling you right now, cash money.
I know, but
you only got one.
Not cash money. Okay. Let's walk this with me, Mike. I've got a nice card. I want to sell it to you. We're gonna do a cash money deal.
Yep.
If I'm going to do a deal like that, normally what happens is I want to get a higher announced sale, but I'm actually going to take less cash from you, right? Am I wrong? Like, why would I take the same amount of cash out of being announced? Why would I want to set my comp
filthy rich and nobody else is selling something that you want? You're willing to pay an absorbent amount of money to get it, and that's how things go up in value. Art is a perfect example of this.
Okay. But time out. I agree with you, and that's where auctions happen. But I'm just saying, in a private sale, honestly, let's say you and I'm just giving you an example of just two what I would call hobbyists could potentially do. Hey, man, I got this card. I'd like to get $50,000 in cash to do something with it. Hey, I got $50,000 in cash. Why don't we do a deal where I tell everybody I bought that card from you for $100,000? That way, I have a great appraisal value. I have some great market value. There's a fraudulent reason, in my opinion, why 100%. You would want to post a high value, unless you honestly are getting the amount. Which then I say to yourself, what idiot does a private? You know what I'm saying? That to me, when you just work the logic on this whole thing, it doesn't make sense. With the exception of your comment there. Two rich drunk assholes were drunk one night and said, "Look, fuck you, man. I'll fuck you, man. I'll buy this. I'll buy that." And they got into a cockfighting contest and spent $1 million on a card worth $500,000.
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, now that I did that, you need to make sure everybody knows it, but I don't want them to know my name." Like, I don't know.
I hope to God it was Logan Paul and he walks out with it, or Jake Paul or one of the Pauls, and walks out with it on his chain when he goes to fight Mike Tyson.
No. I hope it's Mike Tyson.
That would legitimately.
I hope it's Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Maybe it's Mike Tyson who bought the card, and he wears it out.
And if they allow him to fight with it, can someone put a PSA slab in a pair of shorts and fight with it? But I have the PSA slab explode.
I don't know. The whole thing's crazy. Anyway, man, I do need to probably cut this short.
You got the kids running around there. I see that.
He's up way past their bedtime. But dude, I always enjoy these conversations, these chats.
Yeah, we always have fun. Yep.
We should do this more often. Maybe we should do a weekly show and just ignore those other guys next Wednesday.
No, I like every other week because sometimes there's not enough stuff to talk about in a week. Like you start.
I'm not going to get rid of that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not. I really appreciate having you. So I'm not going to touch anything that's working as well as this is. So, man, thanks for being
everybody
here.
Coming
I do expect some more excitement in the next 2 weeks because I got a bunch of PSA cards coming back. I can't wait to share that with the audience. So
awesome.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Forgive me for not keeping up on comments as normal. Have a great night. Treat people the way you want to treat. Make the hobby better, not bigger. Better, not bigger.
Better, bigger.
That's why I tell my girlfriend, better, baby. It's better, not bigger.
And she keeps yelling bigger.
Yeah, bigger.